Hi everyone, my name is Alsea. Thank you for being here. This is going to be a reading for Scorpio placements, or anyone who resonates with this video. I love my Scorpios. I'm a Scorpio moon, very deep feeling, beautiful, powerful sign. So if you do have Scorpio placements, I'm sure you have a lot of passion in your life and intensity. And I love the way that Scorpios are. They have these intense, passionate feelings, but you wouldn't really know it because they seem so in control outwardly oftentimes. At least that's what I've witnessed in my Scorpio friends. So I am using my oldest deck through all of these readings. The oldest deck that is still in use, at least some of them are retired. But this deck has seen a lot of people. It is told a lot of stories, touched a lot of hands. It's not the prettiest because of that, but I think that gives it more character. It's a Rider-Waite tarot deck, and we can go through more of what that means in case you're not a tarot reader yourself. And I'm going to be doing a Celtic Cross reading. Oh my goodness, and already would we look at this. This deck is one my partner gave me years ago, and I've just been pulling. See the silver? I'm sure my Scorpios understand the magic of these colors, but it is a very Scorpio deck actually. But anyway, I have been pulling a card in a pre-shuffle just for each sign, and the card I just pulled before I started recording, the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups, like, get out of town. Of all of the cards, the many cards in these decks, what are the odds, right? But I guess there's no coincidences. So the Eight of Cups is largely about walking away from something. Like, as you can see in this, the cup suits your emotions, the emotional realm. The minor arcana of the Rider-Waite deck is broken up into kind of the different aspects of reality rooted in the elements, so earth, air, fire, water, and water is cups and emotions. And you can see in this really beautiful card, I mean, there's just so many ways to read all these cards, but this person is very clearly moving away from something that they once cared about. You can see these cups are stacked really beautifully and mindfully and with intention. And he has turned his back on them, or she, and moving away, cloaked into the night with the moon overseeing, watching, ever watchful, which gives it almost a faded vibe, or this vibe of like a deeper knowing. But the fact that it's night, moving in the night, I'm really noticing that with this card. This moon is much more discerning. This has much more defeatist tone, but all of those cards do. And hopefully you're not feeling defeated, but maybe you're moving away from something that you once really cared about, or you're choosing a new path for yourself, rooted in a deeper knowing of what's right for you, or a deeper knowing of what it is you need, to create the life that you want. 8 could also be a significant number too in some sense. Okay, so this is for Scorpio. Yeah. Endings. Putting every sword in something and inviting in the new dawn because of it. With every ending comes a new beginning. There's so many different phrases we have to represent that sentiment in our reality, right? Like, every door closing opens a window, or whatever variation of that Endings and beginnings, everything moves in cycles. Scorpio, angel, spirit guide, I call on you to give Scorpio the message they need. Boundaries, firm boundaries. Maybe you're walking away from something because you've learned some important lessons about what your boundaries are or what you deserve, and you're moving away from something that wasn't filling your cups anymore. Only when we have firm boundaries and clear intentions can the universe meet us in our truth? High Priestess is a Pisces card. I'm a Pisces. Pisces, Scorpio moon. Lots of water in my chart. So I understand the Scorpio emotional state, deep emotion states that you can get yourselves into. The High Priestess is all about kind of using that inner knowing that's not really rooted in the cerebral or the logical to guide yourself, almost like the intuitive strengths, because this card is a very strong card, a very strong figure. And the King of Cups, which is emotional mastery in the sense of the masculine head of an emotional suit, the masculine head of a feminine suit in a way. And the King of Cups is very stable in his emotions and is riding these rocky waves, but is very much looking straight ahead at his future. Calm in the sea of emotions. Maybe you're trying to master your emotions in some way or get a hold on your emotions so that you can move forward and away from things that are holding you back or don't feel like they serve you any longer or no longer for you. And if so, good for you. It's really good New Year's energy, right? So the Tower want to come out and the Devil. Oof, Scorpio. What are you dealing with? Scorpios are, the internal world of Scorpios and Scorpio placements is so rich because they operate in these waters that are not really acknowledged by the 3D, 4D world. 3D world. Wow, beautiful. Goodness. Okay, let's get into this reading. It's good coming. I feel that. Maybe because of some necessary change. Oh, yeah, look, they just popped out again. They were like, Alsea, don't pass those. This matters. Wish fulfillment, fate turning in your favor. I mean, how beautiful. What a beautiful combination of cards. This is a dream coming true, if I've ever seen it. I wonder what you're dreaming about. Scorpio, I feel like, also has a strong presence in the dream world. Half here, half not. Okay, Scorpio, one more. For Scorpio. So this is going to be a traditional Celtic cross spread, one of the first spreads I learned, but not done very traditionally. Done kind of my way from years, a couple decades of honing down exactly how I read. The Page of Cups underneath your deck. This is often called the river that runs beneath your reading. The energy beneath it. Page of Cups is an idea and it's a message, a new emotional beginning. Maybe you're walking away from some current state you feel in your emotions or something that you used to care about emotionally, and you're playfully exploring something new or hoping that something new comes in. This new cup gets filled. Let's see. Wow. Oh goodness, I'm just gonna turn this around to see what this is saying. Wow. Oh my goodness. Scorpio. Wow. Wow. Interesting balance between earthly matters, jobs, ways to define yourself in the earthly realm, and emotions. Look at this pair. What is coming? If I'm jumping ahead a bit, but if I'm reading for a feminine, you have some type of counterpart right in front of you. Right in front of you, because this is your immediate surroundings, current state, I was once told, as far as this goes into your past, this goes into your future. Root of the reading. Overall theme of what's coming in, overhanging aspect here. This, some people say, is the meaning for the reading. I think of it more as what's been a thing in your life that are a big focal point of your life, or the foundation of your reality that is now passing out, kind of like a circle. We'll start here because it's the most strifey of the cards, the fives. Fives in general are a strifier number, but this is about emotional loss in some sense, or feeling like something was lost, something didn't work out, multiple things didn't. Friendship could have been lost. And very focused on that. You know, it's a very dour card, you know, cloaked in black, looking downward, gray sky. But there's still 2 cups standing. So in a way, this has something to do with perspective, which all life is about perspective, because we always have cups standing. It's just sometimes really hard to see. And it's much easier sometimes to focus on the lost things, especially if you're an emotional person, because more often than not, I've found that when you're deeply emotional, it's like you get caught up in the things that hurt, and it's really easy to make your whole reality the things that hurt. And I think that that's a Scorpio trait, also a Piscean trait, but it pulls you out of your mind and pulls you out of the present sometimes, and keeps you too focused on the things that are sad and lost. And it makes it hard to move forward because you're looking back too much. I'm not saying that you have been, but I just know that this is a human experience that a lot of people share, but I think especially water signs. And so maybe there was something in your life where you were just really focused on what's been lost, or there was a time where you were just really sad and feeling defeated in love, and it was hard to see what was still standing, or what it is, because these cups look empty, right? Maybe it was like you were so focused on the things that didn't work out that it was hard to figure out what you wanted to fill the 2 cups you have left with, because one day you want to give someone that cup, you know? Or if you're in a relationship and you lost some friends, it's hard to focus on the fact that, you know, you do have a beautiful partnership, or you have something still there, but the loss has really been a focus. But it looks like that's passing out, and what's here is beauty. Oh my goodness, where you're currently at is the Empress. I don't know, it could be you're pregnant. Definitely a card of fertility, of manifestation, especially in the earthly realm. They say that Empress is all the queens. I think of her more as like an upgraded Queen of Pentacles, in the sense that she doesn't dabble in as much of the high priestessy vibe as much as she just makes her dreams come to fruition through manifestation in a feminine way of receiving. And there's something about receiving, or you've built something, or something has grown because of your efforts, and it's a really beautiful card. Or maybe you're just feeling really empowered in your feminine energy, if you're feminine dominant, you know. And there's just something about you really focusing maybe on earthly matters, because what's crossing you is the 10 of Pentacles, which is all about earthly matters and earthly fulfillment in terms of your career, your job space, your finances, estate building. So maybe you want to grow something, or you've really been trying to be this energy of abundance and fulfillment and manifesting and inviting in these things, and you've been doing that, but because this is your crossing card, maybe there's something with family that hasn't happened yet, or it's been a hard journey. You know, it's because this is the bridge you're crossing, the current challenge you face, those kind of energies. And so there's something around your stability or family. I'm feeling like maybe you want a family and you're ready, right? That could definitely be this. And what's in your past is some type of building, like building with community, with skills. Maybe you have like a rockin' friend group, or you have some type of community around you, or you've built something for yourself or with someone else, but there's some kind of like you haven't gotten all the way, or there's some aspect of that, you know, financial growth or earthly growth that just hasn't really manifested for you the way that you've wanted, even though you are very powerful right now. But what I honestly want to get to is this, like, whatever's happened in the past. I mean, you've been focus on growth and building and using your community or building community resources, and but there's just something that hasn't come, and it seems like maybe it's love, because this immediate future is the Emperor and you're the Empress. Like, come on. If you have no interest in love and relationships, this could be you just like completely embodying all energies and just being a complete boss in every sense, and making all of your earthly desires come to pass because of what you have grown, both in receiving and building. But mostly this feels like a partnership, the ultimate partnership. Like, they're both sitting on their respective thrones with their individual really beautiful qualities, and like, he's structure and mountains, and this is very like sacral, or this is really base chakra, and this is very sacral chakra in the way that the root chakra, it's survival, it's, wow, kind of noticing what he's holding now. He has the knight shoes on. He's willing to fight for what he wants. He's like, in every possible way, a strong masculine figure. And this is the empowered feminine. And so this seems like it's you, and this is what's being invited in. If I'm reading for a masculine, then maybe what you've wanted for a really long time is this kind of like family, and it just hasn't happened, but you're going to become this figure that invites in your Empress. Because first we have to do the inner work in order for the outer circumstances to change. And that's kind of what this feels like, is something hasn't come fully to fruition despite all of the efforts you've been putting in that have been largely positive. And maybe that's what's created this sense of loss, or the sense of not having enough, and there's only 2 cups and you want more. There's something about like your perspective has felt very like rough, but man, there's just really something coming in full for you in this beautiful way. And also with this overhanging theme card, the 6 of Cups, you're going from the 5 passing out to the 6 coming in. Look at that. If there is a card like from gray to joy, this village with this, this couple that represents, the love and innocent purity of connection of youth when you're young and everything. Like, look how excited she is about getting these flowers, and he's just so demurely like handing them to her, and they're all blooming after the spring kind of feeling in this little town that feels very safe, and it's represented by this soldier, like they're safe here. And there's this feeling of like rebalancing. 6s in general, like 24, the year that we're in now, is a rebalancing year. So this is kind of perfect, because we're going from 2023, 23 is a 5, to a 6, which is just very balancing after usually 5s are some kind of necessary hardship and upheaval. And then the 6 comes in and makes you feel like, okay, I've learned from this, and now I know what those cups should have in them, and I'm willing to hand it. So like I said before, if I'm reading for a masculine, and it's just like you've built something in your life, but this aspect of it just hasn't come to pass, this feeling of like working towards some type of family or fertility or abundance, but it just hasn't come full, and now it's going to be coming that, and all of a sudden you're passing your cup to that person because it's full, and you now know what to put in it because of whatever you've been through. If this is for a feminine, then it's just like you're going from this feeling of sadness and focusing on the things that are lost in the cups that are empty, to all these cups having newness, because you cleared something out and now the new can grow. You create a blank slate and you make this space in your life, and the right thing can come in. And it's really beautiful. Okay. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is partnership. This is something with partnership. There's just no way around that. I mean, sometimes these cards can be read in terms of business partnership, right? And but it just feels, this feels very emotional. I'm going to get a clarifier for this ending. 7 of Pentacles, please. There's some aspect of waiting, which is funny because I just read for Libra, and it's same. What an interesting thing. And you guys will share energies because of how close you are, and you know, in time of year that you're born, and the energies of nature that went in with that. Oh wow, goodness gracious. Would you look at that? So yeah, some kind of waiting or divine surrender to the timing of the universe. Because like I just said for Libra, there's just as much beauty. It's the human experience to want to rush to the conclusion, to get to the destination, but there's so much beauty in the process. Life is the journey, you know, and enjoying things where you're at is such a beautiful place to be. And that's what a lot of meditative practices is finding your presence. And so maybe there's something about surrendering to the process, I want to say. Because it's funny because this just came up for Libra, and I haven't had this card pop up in like over a year. And there's this just divine surrender because it's like a necessary. Major arcana is usually more fated than the minor arcana that's more day-to-day choices within our control, if you ascribe to that aspect of fate. But the Hanged Man is very much about like getting a different perspective on a situation, and patience is a big word in that. This is kind of how others see you, your environment, and it's the 2 of Cups. So maybe this is all about a relationship. Maybe people have seen that you really, really want the right relationship. Maybe you're dating around and your community has been trying to help you. Maybe friends have been hooking you up, and it's just like nothing really has come to fruition, but this has been a major focus in your life, but it's starting to feel like maybe that just won't work out for me. Or maybe just focusing too much on the past has made it hard to know what to look for in the future. But there is some kind of partnership. I mean, this is the 2 of Cups. It's all about, you know, your match. It's interesting energy, and I see something different every time in these cards. And the feel of this is like it's not really like a surety, like they're very unsure kind of feeling. So maybe you've been dating, but it's just there's something counterpart wise that's coming in. But there's this overall feeling of waiting, and your hopes and fears, which I love this category, because as much as we want something, we're also kind of afraid of it and whether we deserve it. And your hopes and fears are the message card, you know, the 8 of Wands. This is your only wand. Yeah, how fascinating. This is your only wand, which is fire suit. And so this card is largely about a message. Some people say this is Cupid's arrows, which is funny, and I haven't said that in forever. Since I don't know, first started learning tarot, I heard of it as Cupid's arrows. And it's a message or change or new passions, but it usually begets some type of change. And so maybe you want like new passion in your life, but there's some kind of like fear of the past, or fear of like focusing on the loss of the past and not knowing how to move forward with maybe all you've been through. Or maybe things just keep not working out in your dating life, and it just feels like, how long am I going to have to wait? So what you want is this change, but you're also kind of afraid of it because what will it bring? And then your outcome, what I originally pulled was the 7 of Pentacles, which is a card of reevaluating what it is you've built. Seeing what has already been done and figuring out where to put this next pentacle and where it's worth putting. And he doesn't look very happy, right? And that doesn't mean you're not going to end up happy. That's not at all what this is saying. This is about how there's going to be some kind of like reevaluation point, or maybe more waiting. It's still this feeling of waiting. And maybe this person is going to come into your life, or you're going to become if this is a masculine, you're going to become the person that will invite this in, but you're going to have to embrace the process. But overall, like this feeling of joy and childlike wonder. And I also want to say this kind of like remembering how innocent love could be. You know, the purity of love. Because sometimes we go through so many things in life that you can lose that childlike innocence and wonder, like your first kiss feeling, or just getting really excited about someone. That's also what I'm getting. This is like the getting excited about someone, but not rushing it, you know? And maybe that's what this card is saying. Now that I'm even saying this out loud, it's making more and more sense, because it's just like, maybe what you've done in the past hasn't worked out, and now that you're feeling these feelings again, or that you're finding someone that you're excited about, there's going to be some period where you're really figuring out how to do this one different. That's what I want to say. And take your time with it is my advice to you, because the right thing, like you laying the right foundation for the right thing, is going to just benefit you in spades. When you meet someone and you get really excited about them, and that's what these cards are saying, you want to be this person, right? Do you want to jump off the ledge and know the world's going to catch you? And I'm really seeing his flower here. So this is a masculine. Maybe this is how you feel. You meet someone and you're just like, oh my goodness, I just want to give them this flower, and I just want to jump into the universe and have our happy ever after. And this is the card of new love. So is there more perfect clarifiers? Because there's something about how this is telling you that that is coming. And maybe in the past you were kind of this energy about it. Just jump in head first without looking. But now, because of whatever it is you've been through, or the work you've done, you know, and within yourself, or, you know, with the help of your friends and maybe therapy or whatever this means to you, you are now going to be scrutinizing, like, okay, how do I do this right? How do I build this the right way? And what choices do I make so that there's a solid foundation? Because this calls for that. Like this kind of energy where it's just two very full, established people coming together in partnership and seeing each other fully, like it requires the kind of energy and investment of like careful thought. Way more than this, which is much more of an immature, childlike kind of energy that we experience younger in dating. So maybe you're older, or you've just been through it in terms of your love life. But something about this partnership is really going to call for some like evaluation on how to do it right. And that's maybe why it's this unsure kind of this look of like, how do we move forward together? Like, okay, I see you. This is something, and I'm fully aware of that. But what is the right move here? While still allowing yourself to really enjoy those feelings that maybe you forgot that you could have. But there's some kind of walking away. This Eight of Cups I want to go back to. This kind of walking away from either the person you were that didn't serve you, or the ideas you had about love. Maybe there's some kind of evolution there, and then a new playful, like, okay, what now that I have this new idea of how to move forward and what I want, or this new idea of what love could be, how do I play it right? Because there is some kind of figure coming in that is really going to call for that kind of astute judgment, which is really exciting when you think about it, and I'm really excited for you, Scorpio. I hope this resonated. As a closing card, I've been doing this reading from my Wisdom of the Oracle deck, getting one kind of clarifier. Spirit, can I get a card for Scorpio to close out this reading? It's a card for Scorpio. Can you give them more advice, please? What is the card? Please, Scorpio. Oof. Oh, that's funny. Wow. Messages. Something about messages. Messages coming in. Maybe that's how you guys will connect. Maybe it'll be online. Or maybe it'll be unexpected. Chop wood. I haven't gotten this card in a while. Chop wood. This is about focusing. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is about focusing on the day-to-day, the mundane tasks, and in that way, the journey, right? Because if you do that and you focus on the process, you will end up, before you know it, with the results you want. But this, I mean, this and chop wood, look at that, I'm holding the same thing. Like, those are seriously similar cards in the sense of like, you're building something. And anyway, I'm gonna read this to you. It's just really, man, God, these cards just tell the most fascinating stories. Okay, 42, chopwoods. Being grounded in everyday experience, humility. There are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it to be. God, look at this card. Oh my God, where'd it go? I can't. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and leaving it to be, to let nature take its course, is an important step in manifestation. You are some kind of powerful manifester that I'm reading this for. Like, you have made something of your life, or you really have tapped into the energies to make your life, and you're very self-aware. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which bring you ever closer to what you seek. Oh my gosh. Wow. Talk about, these cards are amazing. Talk about tying this exactly where I was going with this together. It's like you are manifesting something, and this is letting you know that it's coming. You're walking away from things, you're growing, you're building, and there's definitely like some type of partnership on your mind, but there's also a certain sense of waiting and surrendering and letting it unfold, and then figuring out what's worth building, because the right thing takes time. The best things take work, because then you actually feel like you earned them and you built it yourself, and that's the most beautiful feeling. Okay, Scorpio, that is my video for you. I'm so happy you joined me here. This is Alsea Tarot. I'm doing a special $20 tarot readings. Feel free to reach out via my Gmail, alseatarot@gmail.com. And otherwise, I hope to see you for your next reading. Okay, bye.